Yay, I see some more girls on. Okay, cool. So happy Tuesday. It is the 13th, the 13th? Yeah, the 13th. And like I said, I do want to do announcements. The first one, and the reason why I actually kept this one on here is because it's coming out in May. And I actually was helping Marissa yesterday because she has her sister-in-law that wanted to switch to her, and the whole like FAQ is different now. Like, so you know that they're making transitions for this preferred customer program, because when I looked at the FAQ, it's totally different, because now people can switch their like preferred customer and regular customer program to you. So like everything is changing. It literally said like up to date in May, blah, blah, whatever. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. So check the FAQ. Make sure you're understanding, look, like we're all new to this. Like Emma and I are new to this. So we are going to be alongside with you learning about the preferred customer program. I'm sure like we'll have like all of the graphics and stuff for you guys. So please make sure that you have the team Google Drives, both Dreamer Society and Rise Up Dynasty. It doesn't matter. We pretty much put the same crap in them. It's just different. So make sure that your Google Drives, like you have those starred. So I don't know if you know that, but you could star the entire Google Drive so you can find it faster. Like I have Emma's starred. So anytime I want to like see what she has in hers, I just go to hers. But make sure that you have that ready to go. And also make sure you have your own Google Drive because it's just super helpful to have stuff there for when you need it. Let's get up. Okay, so if you did the sample workout, please type in the chat box how much you liked it or hated it. I don't know. But literally, you guys, I felt so empowered, so happy yesterday doing the sample workout because obviously, like, I'm pregnant, Emma's pregnant, there's a few of us that are pregnant, and it was just something, I don't know, like I feel like he made this for pregnant women. I know he didn't, but I'm just saying, like it was what I needed. So you know that this is going to be so helpful for so many people. And even if you're not a dancer, it's not a dance, I wouldn't even say it's a dance program. Like it's literally just a program to get up, get your body moving, have fun. So if you haven't done the sample workout yet, please go do it. We are doing, I should have moved the slides over, but I'll go over it again. But the Success Club trip, again, repetitive, because I need to make sure that you guys are in the opt-in list, okay? Get in the opt-in list as soon as possible, especially if you are trying to hit Success Club and want to hit Success Club and want to help 3 people or 4 people or 5 people a month in coming into our community, then please make sure that you're on this opt-in list so you can be a part of the Success Club trip for next year. You get your invite plus one other person, and there's a few of us, if you saw the recognition leaderboard, that are already solid, are in, and we are on the reggae wave. Okay, we're on the reggae wave, but you will, once you get your invite, please let us know too, so that we can celebrate you, and we can add you to the leaderboard too. The diamond bet is at a $500 pot. We're still in the middle of that, so if you are shooting for diamond, I'm gonna say this, it's gonna come sooner than later. Like, I'm just like, it is literally going to come sooner than later. And if your goal is to hit diamond by the end of the cutoff to earn this diamond, the pot, then make sure that you're literally writing down all your action items, exactly what you need to be doing. Again, like realign with your coach, reach out to your coach, ask for help, lean in, but understand that these things come fast. You know what I mean? So like it could literally be like August 28th by tomorrow. It literally feels like that sometimes. I'm just giving it a weird date. I'm not giving you an exact date. But the next diamond bet is May 3rd to June 3rd. So that's why we're telling you, like, okay, like hit your goal for diamond, right? Lock it in so you can go into your 6-week qualification while also building to that strong diamond and also duplicating that to your downline so you can work on building to 2-star. Okay. So May 3rd to June 3rd is the next one. And that one is going to be strictly for summit. So if you want to be recognized as either a diamond or honestly even an emerald, I'm going to put our emeralds out there. If you want to be recognized as an emerald coach, which is the first milestone unlocking your business, guys, I went to my very first summit as an emerald coach and I felt like, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm an emerald, this is so fun. And then I saw a bunch of these diamonds walking around, a bunch of these 1-stars, and I was like, wait, I want to do that next year. So it starts somewhere, right? So if you want to be emeralds by summit, please let your coach know, lock it in, let's freaking make it happen. It's 2 coaches underneath you. That's literally you and your best friend, okay? You and your best friend, your spouse and your best friend. And then for diamond, you just repeat that. You hit emerald over and over and over again. You repeat it to your team, okay? So that is, so May 3rd to June 3rd is the next diamond bet. I won't go over this, but the Get Up and Grind test group is going to happen day 1, April 26th. Okay, so April 19th, so next Monday is launch. Okay, it'll probably come out on Sunday, you guys. And I'm pretty sure it will because it always does. It'll probably come out on Sunday night, but probably Monday. And then that week we are doing a prep week. Okay, it'll be fun. We have a lot of things going on in the prep week. And then we have April 26th for day 1. And then May 3rd is the customer launch and prep week. And then May 10th is day 1 for the customer launch. Okay. So again, promo codes for March, challenge pack purchasers, first time sellers. We went over this last week, but basically if you ordered a challenge pack in the month of March, you get 50% off. Okay. And same goes for coaches that enrolled between January 1st and February 28th. And have never earned a Success Club point during that time period, earn their first Success Club point during the promotion period, you get half off on the digital access. Okay, so that's pretty much it for our announcements. I'm pretty sure, let me just check one more thing really quick. Sorry. Oh, the free shipping, the monthly subscription now, you can actually change it and like bring all of your monthly subscriptions together, which is really cool. You can do that in your back office. There is also the Take Action Challenge. I just posted this, I think like yesterday or the day before. So please go to our team pages and look at the Take Action Challenge because you can win like $500. You can win the Mix, I keep calling it Mike's, but the Mix Fitness bike. You can win a trip to Punta Cana, whatever I think it is. But please, it's all of the coach breaking news is in your back office. So make sure you go back there and you check it out and you go and see for yourself because you are a rock star and you are capable. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to bring where's my little button? Stop share. I'm going to bring our guest speaker on, Kait. I guest spoke for her team last week and it was so much fun. But she is a 2-star diamond 2020, 2021 premier coach. So she's going to talk to us about 10xing the vital behaviors. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just having a day. Vital behaviors. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to give it up to her. So make sure that you are taking notes. And go ahead, Kait. Do you have anything to share? Or do you need me to know?
No, I'm not going to share a screen. I was going to share a screen, but I'd rather just go off. First of all, I'm on day 3 of microblading, so please just like ignore what's going on here. Day 1 through 3 is apparently a fun time, but that's happening. But yes, so my name is Kait Tefft. I am 32 years old. I'm a full-time accountant. I coach part-time. I'm married. I don't have any kids. I have 2 fur children. I'm actually in my basement right now. This is actually where I first started like doing coach work. I actually used to work out in this room too, but I've been working from home and I just cannot sit in that chair anymore. I've been working all day, so I'm like, I'll throw it back down to the old school days and come down here. But yeah, so I want to talk to you guys about, because, I constantly, when I started like hitting things last year and I started, gaining momentum in 2019, I'll have you know that I was a turtle in this business, 110%. And when people started asking me like how I found, success and how I started gaining momentum, it all came down to like 3 things. And it was consistency. I am like the most consistent person that you will probably ever see on Instagram, routine, consistency, creating FOMO, and 10xing the value of your vitals. Guys, like I said, I'm a full-time accountant. So if you've never read the 10x rule, you should go read it because it's a really incredible book. But when I was first like, I don't know if any of you guys are like newer coaches, but when I was starting out and people were telling me, next rule, 10x everything that you're doing, it overwhelmed me. I was like, okay, I'm a full-time accountant. Like I don't have time to 10x like, I only had I made an Instagram for coaching. I didn't have Instagram before. So um, you know, I only had like 100 followers, if that. Like, so I didn't, that like overwhelmed me. So I kind of had to think about it in a different way. But before I get into that, I just want to tell you guys a little bit of my story because it's very important and into what I'm saying. And I want you guys to take the time like weekly to write down your story as you remember it, because there's times that I go back and I look at my story that I did, that I wrote down in my for my first team call, and I wrote down my story and I'm like, I forgot a lot of that. And it's really cool going back to it. And I love that I speak on team calls now and get to tell my story, because that person that you started as, that story that you're talking about, that's who you're talking to now. And we need to like not forget that. So I really recommend you going back and like remembering your story and going back to the beginning. It's really cool to, not forget where you started. But like I said, I signed up in August of 2017. Before that, my coach had actually been contacting me since January of 2007. I said 17, right? And I had answered her right away because I was getting married in June and I wanted to lose weight for the wedding. But of course, she told me a price tag, and I was like, never mind, didn't want to answer her anymore. She was just this girl on Facebook. We weren't friends or anything. She was just a friend of a friend. And I started doing like YouTube workouts. I started doing like everything besides actual work because I had never worked out a day in my life. I went to the gym once with my husband. I got stuck in a pull-up machine. It was really embarrassing. I lived across the street from Planet Fitness, but I went for the tanning sometimes, but that was it. I literally only had a jar of pickles and a bottle of hot sauce in my fridge. We ate out so much. Like I didn't have anything in my fridge, and I'm not exaggerating there. They once had a snowpocalypse. I'm in Buffalo, New York. We had snowpocalypse, and all I had in my house was tortilla chips, and I literally had to call the food bank to like drop me off food because I didn't have any food in my house. Like I am not exaggerating. I was like the most unhealthy person. Obviously, I had like a lot of health issues. I was, dealing with a lot of since I was younger. I had chronic migraines that I had like 8 to 10 a month. It was really bad. I actually had to get Botox in my head for it. I was having these medications that stab myself in the leg. I have chronic depression and really bad anxiety and depression. And not to like get super like deep and dark, but in my early 20s, I actually battled with opiate addiction. I'm 9 years clean now, but that obviously had like a lot of long lasting effects on there. So that was all happening. And when I was getting married in June of 2017, I honestly like I was like not unhappy with myself when my coach first messaged me, but then like all those bad habits, stress of a wedding and everything, and all those bad habits and everything were like collecting up on me. And I didn't notice like before my wedding, like my dress had to be taken out. And then like, but I was so like caught up in that I didn't like notice. And went to my wedding, best day, went to my honeymoon, came back, and my photographer sent me, she was like, okay, some of your pictures are done, and sent me a thing of my pictures, and my heart just like dropped when I saw it, because I had, in that short amount of time, I had gained about 35, 40 pounds, and I didn't notice it until I saw my wedding pictures, and I was like, why? Like, that was when like my heart sunk. There's still some that I haven't even like shown on social media. I haven't even like displayed anywhere. And so that's what I messaged my coach, right? Because it all takes that like moment. You don't do it before things happen. We do it when things happen. So I messaged my coach back then. I signed up in August, but I told her I was going to be her worst customer. I said, nope, I'm not going to follow a meal plan. Just give me some freaking workouts. I don't want the shakes. Somehow she got me to sign up as a discount coach. So I told her, well, I'm going to cancel everything anyway. So whatever, do what you got to do. I wanted to be the worst. I was honestly like, I was like a mean person. So I get my stuff in the mail. I had no place to work out. I was in this tiny apartment, and I never worked out before. She told me to do core de force. This was right before ADF such much. She told me to do core de force. So I kickboxed my way around the kitchen. I was actually having a really good time. And surprisingly, I really loved the shakes. And so it's like, I didn't want to admit that though, but that's literally, they were easy for me because I didn't know how to eat. So it's like, grab them on my way out the door. And that's what I did. So I did that, and I kickboxed my way around the kitchen. I didn't follow a meal plan. I didn't really pay attention to her, and I got into her accountability group. And I met like a couple people in there. That was all I did in the beginning. And after like a week or literally like 2 weeks in, I felt amazing. I hadn't lost anything yet, but I felt so good just kickboxing my way around the kitchen, having some people cheer me on in a group, and drinking my shakes. That was it. And from then I was just completely sold. But like I said, when I started when things were already bad because that's what we do. We don't start when things are good. And I'm going to relate that also to coaching. Like, don't wait until rock bottom to start actually doing things with your vitals and stuff. Like, do things when you're feeling good. Um, so in December of that year, I actually like things kind of just like balled up from like way before. Obviously, like I said, my early 20s were a rough time. And I had like this complete mental breakdown and I like almost destroyed a lot of things in my life. And it was really bad. So I go to my coach, I left her accountability group, I blocked her on my iPhone, I got rid of everybody. I'm like, I'm done with Beachbody. I don't want anything to do with this. But I had already met like a couple people in my challenge group. One of them is still my best friend today. And they knew like, okay, Kate's gone, like, and they cared. And she reached one of them, her name's Emma. She reached out to me and she said she was going through something similar in her, not similar, but going through something in her life too. An 80-day obsession was coming out. So we wanted to jump into 80-day obsession. She was like, you know what? I need you. Like she came to me like, I need you. And I need you to help me. Like, do you want to go all in on 80-day obsession together? And I was like, okay, my life was so out of control at the point that I was like, okay, this is something that I can control. Like 80-day obsession, like I can do this. Like this is something that's going to bring me back. So me and her, I still left my coach on block, but I jumped into 80-day obsession. I, went all in with Emma and literally time nutrition. If you ever done 80-day obsession before, we went all in. Time nutrition and everything, waking up at 5, having vegetables before you work out at 5. Like, let me tell you, I did that. And I worked out in my tiny apartment kitchen, hour-long workouts. We went all in. And through 80-day obsession, it literally changed my entire life, like entire life. If you have not gone all in on a program yet and you are wondering why you're not where you are in your business, go all in on a program just one time. Like go all in now to balance later. Like guys, I live the balanced life. I literally am drinking Truly and pre-cocktail right now. But I went all in on a program to be able to balance now. Do the work now so you can live the way you want later. But so we went all in. I lost 35 pounds and I became just this different person. Like I unblocked my coach eventually, but I just became this nicer person. I became this person with more energy. I became loving to more people around me. I got off my anxiety medication. I got off my depression medication. My doctor still doesn't believe me that I don't get migraines anymore. But it just changed my life. But I didn't want to coach. My coach kept asking me to coach, and I was like, nope. I wanted to be her worst customer. Now I want to be her worst coach. I was like, absolutely not. But I was posting transformations on Facebook. I was really proud of what I was doing. So I was posting transformations and people were asking me about it. And what am I doing? I'm sending them to my coach, like ridiculous. So my upline is actually Ashley Dyson, and she popped into me and she was like, okay, you need to coach. And I was like, oh, well, if Ashley's asking me, then I guess I'll think about it. And so I decided to put some feelers out there. So when I actually started coaching was probably March of 2018 is when I said, I'm going to start coaching, but I didn't actually start coaching because I didn't really do anything, like I said, okay, I'm going to start coaching. And then I just like kind of like joined the coaching community and posted some before and afters here and there. And that was like it. Like I didn't actually do the vital behaviors. Guys, we all know what the BAT is. If you're only doing sections 1, 3, and 4, you're not doing BAT. I was the queen of doing sections 1, 3, and 4, which is working on you, hanging out in your challenge group and doing like personal development. Like that's great. We can all do that, but that's not going to get you anywhere in your business if you're not doing section 2. So I was, doing that thing and nothing was really happening. Just like anyway with the results, you go all in on a program, you're going to get all in results. If you half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results. The same exact thing applies to your business. So in July of 2018, I was actually buying this house. I was moving into this house and it was super freaking busy. I was doing Lift 4 and Lift 4, yes, got me into incredible shape, but it was also what got my business launched off the ground because Lift 4, I started it, I think that came out in July. So I was Success Club 0, guys. I'm a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. I think I'm on month like 35 right now. And it wasn't like Success Club 2 and then 4 and then 0 and then 6. That's not how it went for me. It went 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 10. And then I never stopped. Like it literally went like this and like that. And the reason that happened was because all of Lift 4, how long is that program? 8 weeks, I think. All of Lift 4, I did all the vital behaviors. I did them and I did the best that I could because guys, I was a full-time accountant and I was in the middle of buying this house. I was sometimes working out and boxes are all around me. Like I had to do the best that I could, but I 10x'd the value that I was putting into what I could do. And I never stopped. So I didn't have anybody signing up. I didn't have anybody answering my messages most of the time, but I kept going. I kept going throughout those entire 8 weeks. Even when nobody was signing up, I went all into the business. So then when I was starting a round 2, because I was obsessed with Lift 4, I love Joel. So I was like, I'm going to start a round 2. All of a sudden, all those people that watched me go from Kait, who was just not even coaching, showing up on Facebook and posting transformation photos, who was kind of a mean girl blocking her coach, who saw me end 80-day obsession and then decide and put a coming out post like, hey, I'm going to start coaching, who saw me go through lift 4 and get in incredible shape. They built trust. They saw me and I built trust with them. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, we're going to do a round 2 of lift 4. All those people that I had been inviting for that whole entire time that said no to me, all of a sudden started coming in. And I'll have you know, to this day, to this year, I still have people coming in and joining with me that I first sent an invite to in 2018. And there's no like big secret behind that. Everyone's like, well, what do you say to them? When I just invite them every single month, unless they literally say like, do not message me anymore. I invite them every single month. And honestly, no one has ever said that to me, because of what I want to say is like putting the value into what you're putting into your business. Because I completely, if you feel icky or you feel like, you're not being authentic to you on social media and you feel like, salesy, it's probably because you're being salesy. But if you focus on bringing value to your vital behaviors, if you focus on bringing value into what you're doing and being authentically you, no one's going to come off and make you feel like you're icky. So I message everybody every single month. But that is what changed in there. And it's because of the way that I put the value into my vital behaviors. So the first thing that I was like, going on about is going all into a program, is going all in now so you can balance later. Our number one job is us. And we have to remember that before anything. Like if we don't have results, if you're not being a product of the product, like I said, at first time that I drank shakes, I have drank in my shake, I'm a 365 or times 3, almost 4 now. And that's not just me like trying to, but that's a Beachbody recognizes that for a reason. You're a product of the product. That's building trust. And I show that every single day on my stories. Like I talk about my shake all the time. But that's building trust with people. And if you're not doing the scary program, do the scary program. If you've never done the work before, do the work. Everyone's like, I'm not going to do the work. And then I did it, and that absolutely changed things for me too. But when you're doing all the things that you're going all in on a program and you're going all in on yourself, it's like, what would you tell your challengers to do? So whenever you're thinking about what you're doing, what would you tell your challenger to do? If your challenger came up to you today, one of your customers come to you today and said, gave you something that they're struggling with, what would you tell them to do? Tell you to do that too. But the first thing, obviously, like we all know, is go all in. The first vital behavior is you go all in, do your shit. If you aren't where you're at right now, don't live the balanced life. And I love 80-20, but honestly, like get to your goal first. Get to your goal first and show people that it's possible for them before you start, doing what I'll get into that. But the second thing that I wanted to talk about is the second vital behavior. The biggest thing about the second one is the way that you do it. You have to be you. You can't be her. And I think that is where I messed up a lot in the beginning. Was like I said, my upline is Ashley Fell Dyson. If you guys don't know who she is, like she's the opposite of me. She's blonde. She loves Amazon hauls. Like she's a big foodie. Her house is gorgeous. Like I'm sitting here with a truly pretty cocktail. I have Funko Pops behind me. Like my basement, I'm a mess. I have blue hair. Like I am just not her. But I think in the beginning I like saw her and I'm like, she's so successful. Like she's so pretty. And like, I was like, okay, I can be successful. I tried to be like her. But if I showed up that way, nobody would trust me. Nobody would take me seriously because I was trying to be her, and that's not authentic, and that would come off icky. The worst thing I hate is when my coaches come on their stories and they do things that I did on my stories, because I'm like, nah, no, that's not you. Like, do you. Like one of my girls was like, I don't like to do TikTok dances. I'm like, then don't freaking TikTok dance. I don't want you to do something that's not you, because it's going to come off not you. So find what you are and pour that into your second vital behavior when you're thinking about how to give value to people. Woo, I just made a mess. Posting. So I was told when I started to post every single day, and I know things have like changed a lot since then. And it's still, obviously you need to be showing up in some way, shape, or form on your stories or on your feed. I don't think we have to post as much as we did back when I started on your feed. But in the beginning, I was the queen of posting every single day because I'm consistent. But thinking about it now, like back then, you can post every single day. You can post 5, you can check the boxes on your BAT. So that's what we have the digital one now. I miss the old one because it was way more detailed, but you can check all those boxes. You can literally check every single box and say you did your BAT for the day. And one of my coaches will hand me their BAT, like show me their BAT and be like, oh, I'm doing all of this, but I'm not getting any results. I'm like, but are you actually doing them? Or are you just checking a box? Did you say that you posted a social media post, but it was really just a picture of your cat? Like, what are you actually like giving? Like you need to give things to be able to receive things back. And if you're not putting value, anytime I try to post something, so if I post something on my stories, when I post something on my feed, I ask myself before I post it, am I posting this for them or am I posting it for me? Does anyone care if I'm posting about my cat? Probably not. Like, it's obviously cool to like put that in there once in a while, but the majority of your posts, in my opinion, it is way more beneficial for you to have 3 to 5 posts a week that are valuable, that give your audience something, rather than stressing and making sure you have 6 posts up for the week that really don't do anything for anybody. So when I'm talking about like 10xing the value that you put into it, don't be so focused on, I have to send 500 invites, I have to post every single day, I have to do all these things and put the stress on yourself, but really focus on giving value to the people that are there and not just throwing things up and being like every other person. Because you know what, you are not her. And there's somebody out there that needs to hear your story and needs to hear from you. And if you're just, I know how it is. And I don't know if anyone else is like me, but I work all day and then I come home and I'm like, shit, I haven't posted today. And then my anxiety starts running. And then you start like typing a bunch of stuff and then like you're rewriting it. And like you're literally writing nothing. Like the post is like nothing special, but yet you take an hour to freaking write it. And then you post it. And then you come back an hour later. You're like, wow, 3 people like that. I just wasted 3 hours of my life. Like, let's not do that anymore, guys. That is the most stressful thing. I live with anxiety, and that is like my worst thing. Something that's helped with that, I don't know if you guys do it, but on Sunday we have a creative block. So from on Sundays, my upline team, we do from like 7 a.m. to noon. We all just have like our Zoom open, and that's where we create everything for the week. It's so helpful. It has changed my life because then the rest of the week, I'm just like, everything is planned. I don't gotta worry about anything. And it's fresh in the morning. So I get my pre, I sit down, and that's when your brain is fresh in the morning and you can write all that content out without worrying about it. And it's so good. Sundays are like my favorite day now to do that. But making sure you have like valuable posts. And I know like my story is a little bit like darker and like deeper than others. Don't feel like you have to have like some sort of like dramatic story like that. Whatever your story, that's another thing, is like, be you. Don't feel like you have to have like some dramatic, crazy story like I do. Like whatever your story is, someone else relates to that and someone else needs to hear it. So stay true to your own, but tell it. Dig deep from it. Honestly, if the post makes you want to throw up, if it makes you wonder if you should be putting it up, you should put it up. Because that's honestly the post that makes me want to like throw up and throw my phone. I tell my coaches all the time, like, just throw your phone, come back to it later. Guarantee you're going to have a ton of support. And they always do. But those are the posts that really get people to trust me. And I come back to tons of messages, not messages that they want to join my boot camp, but messages that I help them in some way, which that's what we're here to do, right? So those are the posts that really like gain trust with my followers, is when I'm being real and open with my story, and I get the people who relate to that. Makes me more relatable. But dig deep, pull from, if it makes you want to throw up, it is a great post. What was I going to say with that? Oh, that's another thing. So when you're, like right now, like honestly, this month for me, I don't know if anyone else, this month has been kind of weird for me. I think with Let's Get Up being kind of like in the middle, Success Club point wise, and some of my coaches are kind of dealing with the same thing, and even like on my entire team. And they're like, how are you still like having fun showing up and everything? And I'm just like, because you're finding there's heartbeats behind Success Club numbers, guys. There's heartbeats behind there, and there's heartbeats behind the people that you're connecting with on your page. And you have to find that thing that is going to keep you showing up when nobody's signing up. I absolutely love, like I said, you have to give to receive. So as far as like connecting with people, like whenever like that vital 2 behavior, and it's like, oh, connect with people. Like, everyone says, okay, go follow like 100 people. To me, that's not connecting. Like, yes, I have to do that. Yes, you have to go there and you have to grow your following. But to me, that's not connecting. Me, as connecting is not also being like, hey, I like your dog. Like, what did you do today? Like, that's not for me. So I'll go through and I'll watch people's stories. I'll interact with people on a real human level, like not just to hope that they follow me back, but on a real level, connect with the people that you jive with. I also try to like give things. So like, just off the top of my head, like a random thing I did a couple weeks ago, I have Audible and I have a lot of books on there. And I was talking about personal development. People are always asking me what personal development I'm reading. And so I offered, if you have Audible, you can give 1 book to someone for free if you've never had Audible before. So I literally put up my stories like, these are my favorite 3. Send me your email address and I'll give you one of mine. People ate that up. Like, I'm giving them something, and like, I don't have to do that, but that built trust with them. And those people that come back and thank you for sharing that scary post, and thank you for giving them something for free, that's what's going to keep you showing up. Like, maybe you're at Success Club 0 all the way through the 20th of the month, but you have those people in your inbox that are saying, thank you so much for sharing that on your stories. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. That's what's going to keep you showing up the next day. Because honestly, we are more than just Beachbody coaches. We are, I always think it's weird to say, but we are influencers and we're helping people. And however you're helping them, remember there's a heartbeat. Don't just be so like gung-ho about numbers that you forget what we're actually here for, because the numbers will come. I promise you, if you're showing up with value and you're showing up intentionally to help people, the numbers will come. Authentically, consistently is a big thing. You have to be showing up every single day, through the good, through the bad. As far as my stories, when I started, I used to just, again, like checking the box. It's not in the BAT anymore, but it used to like be like show like your different, like it was like very specific of what you should show on your stories. You used to be able to check it off, like, okay, drink your shake. I used to like just show like a blender with my shake in it, and like, woo, I did my shake, like boomerang. Nobody knows what that is. Nobody knows what your pre is. Nobody knows. I think we live in a world where everyone thinks everyone else is a Beachbody coach. I had girls who had followed me forever, and then they finally asked me what shake I'm drinking, and I'm like, how do you not know? Like, I literally show this every single day, but they don't know because I never said it, because I just assume that everyone knows what everything that we do is. So giving something with that. So like, for example, with my shake, I make sure that I literally go to Google, and I'll Google one of like the ingredients that are in it, and I just what it does for them, and I'll just copy and paste that onto the screen. So like one of the superfoods in here, something that it does for them. Talk about the pre. I literally told them how to make a truly pre cocktail and how it, talk about how hydrate helps your hangover. Talk about how recover makes a good like chocolate snack. Like talk about your products and give them more value, more than just I'm drinking my shake. Here's my pre. They don't know what that is. Like talk to them more about it. Um, this was something that my team struggled with. Record your whole workout. I hope you guys are. Don't, stop and to record moves. When you're doing Shaun T, I can't sweat because of my eyebrows, so I haven't been able to do Shaun T samples. So I'm just FOMOing over it right now. But if you're doing that, like, don't stop to record a dance move. Don't stop to record a move from your workout. Do the whole thing. You're your number one job. Do your whole thing. Record the entire thing, and then go through your actual workout and find a cool move. I don't try to find the perfect move. I find the little clip where I like fell over. I find the clip where I was laughing at myself. I find the clip where I was like having a moment with the trainer, and that's what I share, because that's real and that's showing them something, rather than just this is the move that I did today. And yes, it's so much easier. It's less stress. Like, I just put my phone up, I record the whole thing, and then I go through it afterwards, and I know that I got a really good workout in, and it becomes more authentic. And I try to share something like, something from the trainer, like a form correction they gave me, or just like something that they said. I just try to make sure on every single story slide that I'm doing that I'm giving them something. Like, always ask yourself, am I posting this for them, or am I posting this for me? Am I posting this for them, or am I posting this to check a box? If you're posting it just to check a box, you're probably not giving value in it. Recognition. I think people forget about recognition a lot. Recognition is huge, guys. Everyone is people that are watching. Okay. Someone said something on another call, like, if most of the people that are watching you are probably following 4 to 5 other Beachbody coaches. And that's really probably true. You need to stand out, first of all. So that's why this is all important. Like, you need to stand out from the other coaches, but you need to like you need to recognize people outside of your niche. Okay. Because I'm 32 years old. My entire team is between 20 and 25 years old. And I honestly don't think they knew I was this old, but also it's because I showed like more of their niche on my story. So I'll show a transformation, but instead of just posting like before and after and saying like, whoa, this person got this transformation, talk about them. This girl's 21 years old. She's in college. She's in grad school. She's a dog mom. She's trying to juggle in between here. She's living with a roommate. She does this in her dorm room closet. One of my girls actually did it in her dorm room closet. Talk about that person and who they are and how they got that transformation, more than just showing a before and after, because then someone will relate with that, even if they don't relate to you. So that person that might follow you, someone might follow me. I'm very big on working out. So like, that's my thing. I'm very fitness and big about my muscles and stuff like that. Maybe someone doesn't relate with that. They relate more with like, they need nutrition help. They're not going to relate with me, but I can show them that I'm helping people that do need that, if that makes sense. So talk more when you're showing recognition. And show more than just transformations. You can like screen record your boot camp, a text message that you got from one of your people. If you don't have any people yet, ask your coach for some things, or, like, everyone will share something with you while you're getting your feet on the ground. I literally made up my team before I even had a team. One of my friends asked if I was quitting my job. I'm like, I'm just an emerald, but, but like, I had talked about it like it was, fake it till you make it. And then the biggest thing that I love is invites. I did not. So I have like, obviously, like, we all, invites are a test, like, what word am I looking for? Like trial, like try and fit. Why can't I think of it? You guys know what I'm saying. You try until you find something that works.
Trial and error.
Thank you.
I feel like
Oh my God, brain. I might be pregnant.
oh gosh.
They're trial and error, but what I found is the best way to do it is again to put value into it. So I heard something again that was like the highest quality invite that you can send is the invite that gets all the engagement back from it. The lower quality invite is that invite that you send that doesn't have any engagement back. Not yes, not no, not maybe. You know, that high quality invite is one that even you get a maybe on, even you get a no on, that person doesn't really have to respond. They gave you a no, hell yes, that's better than a no response. The low quality invite is the one that you're getting no response back. The lowest quality invite is the one you don't send. So we still better be at low quality. But the difference between low quality and high quality is to check yourself. So when you're looking at that invite, first of all, use their name. Are you copying and pasting? Do you sound like you? And are you making the invite about them? Or are you making it about you? Are you saying that you want someone to come join your group? Or are you talking about how you're going to help them? And does it sound like you? I recommend using, if you're sending, text invites, voice record your own voice and how you would talk to your best friend, and then have that transcribe and put it into an invite. Make it sound like you. And if something's not working, switch it up. But putting value into that, using their name. Don't just, I know a lot of people that just copy and paste and mass out 100 invites. Yes, it might take you 10 minutes longer to actually type out everyone's name, but it's worth it in the long run because those are the people that are going to answer you. Also, people are going to be more likely to answer your invite when you're showing up authentically and giving value in your story, in your posts. And so all of this kind of goes together. Something that has been game changing for me was voice memoing. If you guys aren't using voice memos on when you're like talking to people, it's changing. Someone answers me, I don't ever, I actually got rid of like the whole like explanation of bod. Like I don't even have that anymore. I don't text it at all. When someone tells me they're interested, I immediately voice memo them. And I talk about, because they hear my voice, they hear my excitement. And I talk about, oh my God, this is what it did for me when I started. Like, I totally understand. Like I had no idea what to do with nutrition. This was awesome for me. I just got done with this workout. You get all of this. And they hear my voice, and it sounds different every single time about how I'm feeling in the moment. A lot of times I answer them when I'm like huffing and puffing. I'm like, I just got done with my workout. Cause I'm like endorphin high then. But that has been game changing because then they're like, oh, this person's like a real person and they're actually excited about it. Use voice memos. It was scary like the first like 3 times I did it. But after that, now it's like, I would rather, like, I'm like, I don't feel like texting it out. I don't know if anyone else, my anxiety, I hate typing things out. I overthink everything. So for me, just like getting it out in a voice memo is easier, and it's more authentic and it's more being real to them. They're going to hear your confidence too. Be confident in what you have to bring. If you're doing all of this and you're all in and you really love Beachbody, again, you're not going to sound salesy. Be confident in what you have. Like Let's Get Up is a perfect example. I'm not a dancer. Like I'm a big fitness person, but I'm confident that Let's Get Up will help people. Whether or not it's going to be my thing, that's fine. But like, we're Beachbody coaches. There's tons of things in this that is not going to be your thing, but you're able to help people with it. But anyway, the last thing I want to say is challenge groups. Challenge groups, challenge groups, challenge groups. I love my challenge group so freaking much. And I think sometimes coaches overlook the challenge groups because you want to keep getting people in, right? We're so focused on getting people in that we forget about the people that are right here underneath you. And I'll tell you, every single coach on my team has come from a challenge group. Yes, they go into sneak peeks and stuff, but I've only signed one coach that was like not a part of Beachbody or not in a challenge group before. And she's quit. She was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to drink the shakes. Like, why do I have to pay this? And do I have to do this workout program? Because she wasn't already in love with Beachbody. Everyone has come from my challenge groups. I don't even I host sneak peeks, but they're literally just the girls in my challenge group coming to the sneak peek. It's just my tribe. I don't know, other people do it differently, but challenge groups are where it's at. I put so much focus on there because of that. And because, like I said in the beginning, think about your story. So when I talk about my story, I said I had fallen into a deep dark depression. I had a mental breakdown. What brought me back? What brought me back and got me into 80-day obsession? What brought me back and got me to losing 35 pounds, to getting in incredible health and meeting this community? It was a challenge group. It was that little accountability group that my coach put me in, that I even blocked my coach, but I was still in there and I made friends and they pulled me out of that. And I have to remember that. So when I make my challenge group, I'm not going to just throw anyone in there and just hope that they do well. I show up there as a person that I needed because I know where I started. Remember your story and why you started and give that back to your challengers. we might be coaches now, but we're always our own challenger first. Always, always. So I show up in my challenge group as if I'm a first day challenger every single day after my workout. That's the first thing I do is log my workout. And I know everyone does this now, but like, leaderboards, doing fun things, giveaways and stuff like that. I'm sure Gabby has tons of like leaderboards. She's like a graphic queen over here. So, but we do, fun leaderboards, we do giveaways, fun like challenges. One thing that I like to do is, that girl that's in your challenge group that's showing up and like, you want her to coach, she would make an amazing coach, but she's like not doing it, but she's a rock star in your challenge group is I'll kind of like give them like responsibility as a coach, like, oh, I'm going to be gone this week. I'm going to be really busy. Like, can you run the Zoom thing? Can you post the check-in tomorrow night? Can you do this for me? And it kind of like makes them feel like a little like, okay, she needs my help, but also it kind of gives them a little taste of coaching, and kind of see like, oh, you just did that. Like you just inspired this person, or you just like, helped the whole group. You did a check-in. Like that's literally what we do. And so it makes it kind of easier for when you go in and talk to them about coaching. We do have a virtual gym and it's also a virtual workstation. So I like that I can invite my challengers and it's sometimes they even jump on in the middle of a team call and that I don't even care because I'm like, okay, they jump on, they see people working out, but then they also see people doing coach work and then they kind of see it's just the same thing. Like it just makes it kind of like more effortlessly like combine coaching into challenge groups. If that makes sense. But they all have my number. They're all like challenge groups are where it's at. Don't get so, like I said, there's heartbeats behind every single person that's on your team, that's in your challenge group, and that are following you on social media. And so we have to treat them like that and not be so focused on number that we forget that those hearts there. Every time I talk to someone in my, team that's, they're like worried about like, they want to quit because they didn't get, Success Club 6 last month, or they want to quit because, this coach put in a coach cancellation form. And I'm like, I was a tortoise in this. Like I said, I signed up in August 2017. I didn't hit diamond until November of 2018, I think. And then I didn't hit 2-star until last year. 1-star and 2-star happened in the same year. I was a tortoise. But if those months, like I always direct them to my old challenge group and I'm like, if on month 6, when I was like, I'm still at a diamond, I'm still hanging out at emerald, if I had said, okay, I'm just done because one month I had a bad month, look at all those names. There's 400 people in our group. None of them would be there. You wouldn't be here. Like that breaks my heart. And I remind them that all the time. I'm like, go look at your group, go look at your team and tell them, tell them that you're going to quit because you didn't hit Success Club. Come on. Like, yes, we should all be hitting Success Club, but there are going to be months that are hard and it's yes, hit Success Club, but also don't get so hung up on numbers that you forget why we're here in the first place. You're giving value, you're helping people, and everything will come back if you focus on that first. You focus on helping people, giving value to people, all the people out there and in your group that it's already there already. Everything will come, even through the bad times that happen. So I think it's everything I had.
No, that was so great. So great. I love talking about the vitals because they're so important. They're there for a reason. And I try not to overwhelm new coaches with the vital behaviors because we want you to just focus on the simple things. I have to sneeze. We want you to focus on the simple things like, helping your first 3 people, unlocking emeralds, and, just focusing on that and enjoying your journey. And also, just figure it out along the way, because if you hear any of our stories, like, my story, Emma's story, Kait's story, we figured it out along the way. Like, it is not like this blueprint to coaching. It's not like a one fits all. It is different for everyone. I love Ashley Fedelston. I was in a lot of my 1-star mastermind group. She spoke for us twice and I just loved her. But you're so right. Like, you guys were, I would never guess that she was your upline, but you just like, you know what I mean? But it's also very like heartwarming to know that too, that it's not like I said, like not a one fits all, right? I used to think that I couldn't help moms because I wasn't a mom, and I would always go to Emma for like all the things. And now that I am about to be a mom, I feel like I'm unlocking this door of like a new season, So, and that's another thing too, is like your seasons are always going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, that will also help your business rather than harm your business. So I always look at a new season as like, okay, who can I help now? Right? Like, this is a new experience for me. I want to experience it with other people. Like, I am talking about let's get up like crazy because I'm pregnant and I want to move my body, and I know I'm not the only pregnant mama out there that wants to move their body, right? But I love that you said, added the value about Audible. Definitely gonna do that. I knew that, but I don't know why I didn't put two and two together to like give it out.
Yeah, I give it to all my challengers too, like in their welcome email. I'm like, if you don't have Audible yet, or even just make up an email address if you already have Audible, so I can give you a book.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's super cool that they do that.
that's so smart. I mean, yeah, like I knew that you get a free credit, or not a free. Well, yes, you get a free credit, but you get my point.
Yes.
But show other women other than you, and that is my favorite thing to do, is to show my challenge group girls outside of my challenge group, right? Like, to me, that is a sneak peek of your challenge group without inviting to a sneak peek. Okay?
Mhm.
Like, literally screen record, share, recognize, like shout out like wins and stuff like that. I don't share their names. I like crop it so you can't see their names and stuff, because I preach that like my challenge group is privacy. Like, I won't share anything that's, whatever XYZ. So I make sure that it's private and that they don't know that it's that person. But show up. Another thing I like that you said, that you showed up like as the coach you wanted to be when you said fake it till you make it. Like, show up to the job that you want, not the job that you have. So if you want to be a diamond coach, you should be showing up as a diamond coach, even though you're not a diamond coach. And maybe you're like, well, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know how to show up as a diamond coach. Well, to me, I would consider a diamond coach someone who is a leader, who has their own team, who is inviting and literally live, breathing, and sleeping by those vital behaviors, right? Like, that to me is a diamond coach. So that is what I would do if that was my goal, right?
That's like the other topic I always talk on, because that's literally what I did. I saw Ashley took like her team to Disney World in 2018, and I'm like, it was for her diamonds, and I was like, I'm going to go to Disney World next time she goes. Like, this is stupid. Why am I not a diamond? And I was a dangling emerald. Like, it was my mom and the one person that wanted to coach with me. But I put it into the universe that I was going to be a diamond coach by the time they get back from Disney World. I showed up, I made up Team Impact. I said, okay, Team Impact is a thing. I bought a bunch of rings. I have a thumb ring that I give to all my emeralds, and I only had one coach. I bought a bunch of rings. I showed up. I made a team page. I started hosting team calls and talked to a wall. I did all the things that I knew a diamond coach would do. And then when I hit diamond, I was showing up so much as a leader that's when my friend messaged me. She does young living, so she knows how it works. And she literally messaged me and she was like, "Oh my God, are you quitting your job?" And I'm like, "I only hit diamond, honey." But I was showing up in that way. So honestly, show up, make a team page, do
Oh my
team
God.
calls, talk to a wall. You get practice.
Don't pull a Gabby. I hit diamond. I was like, I quit. And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
quit.
we talked about that.
Well, technically I quit, but then like the lockdown happened, so I couldn't go back to work. So it all worked out. Anyway, so no, you don't do that. Wait till you hit 2-star, 100%. Don't pull a Gabby. But that's because I put diamond on this really high pedestal, and we don't teach that to you guys, okay? But it's, yes, like that's what I'm saying. Like, show up, like take that massive action. And I know it sounds crazy, but when you talk about your story, when you talk about like how you became a leader, which what feels like overnight, it's because you just took massive action, like you literally were like, that's it, no more. And you know what's so funny is that literally what made me want to coach is Emma going on another free trip with her friends and coaching. And I was like, that's it. No, I'm going to be on that trip next year. Like, this is bullshit. Like, and I was like so envious that she was on this free trip. And I was like, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, team name. And I remember telling Emma at Summit, my very first Summit, which I had literally, you guys, $0 in my bank account to go to Summit. And I made my way to Summit, and it was life-changing. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't been live, I'm so sorry, but you need to get live when they finally open up Summit Live. It is, I can't even explain how amazing it is. But anyway, I had zero money to go. And I remember walking, and this was when I was just an Emerald coach, or I'm not gonna say just an Emerald coach. I was an Emerald coach. And I remember walking, I was so nervous to tell Emma. And I was like, so I think I'm going to create my own team and I have a team name. And I was so nervous because, I love the Dreamer Society. I'm still a part of the Dreamer Society, but, that was the step I needed to take in order to build my brand, to build who I wanted to build, like at that time, I was newly married. She was a mom. I wasn't a mom. I needed to branch out with my challengers, with my coaches. And again, we're still here. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're leaving the nest, you're just creating your own nest. That's literally it. So I love that you said that. And be your best challenger. 1000%. The one thing that I've been taking massive action on this year is just loving my challengers so much. Like, they are the bread and butter of this business. Like, yes, we want you to build a team. We want you to see that income level that you want. We want you to do all of those things and reach your goals and the ranks and, the recognition. But you also need to focus on loving your challengers and being the best challenger in your challenge group. That is, like, I would circle that, highlight it, do whatever you need to do. Show up as the best challenger in your challenge group. Okay. The way that I now choose who I invite to my team, okay, is not if they want to be a coach, okay? It's, are they showing up in the challenge group? Are they logging their workouts? Are they logging their shakes? Are they using Shakeology? Are they using Energize? Because you can say, like, for example, I love her. She used to do Herbalife with me. I love her. But she really wants to be she wants to be a coach on my team. And I've had to have these really tough conversations with her saying, like, I would love for you to be on my team, but I don't want you to waste your time. Okay. I want you to focus on your journey in the challenge group. And if you can show me for like 30 days that you can show up and you can log your workouts and your shakes, then we can talk. Okay. Because that's where it starts, you guys. Like, we can't be so like, oh my gosh, like, yes, like, let's sign you up as a coach. And when they're not even focusing on their health and fitness journey, right?
Training.
It's draining. It's so I had to take that huge transition and like mindset shift to like, I would love for you to be a coach, but I don't think it's the right fit right now. Does that make sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to remember you're running a business and it has to be a good fit for you and it has to be a good fit for them. Because if you truly feel like, well, they're not even showing up in the challenge group, but they want to be a coach, it's not a good fit for them. I feel like it's actually a disservice to them if you're like, hey, come join coaching, right? Like, so they will come around though. You just have to lead them a little bit more, right? And then the coach cancellation thing. Yeah. Another thing, it's okay. You're going to get those. I'm so serious. Like, you are going to get, I had like 6 in 1 week practically. It was like, I think I was texting Emma and I was like, well, another
watch me search incident in my email. Especially during like qualification period, I would like get like PTSD if I heard my email go off and I'm like, does it say incident?
Yeah,
and it does.
Those are like gut wrenching during qualification week. Oh my gosh. Then it's like, okay, now I need to 10x everything.
They happen all the time.
Yeah, it happens. And sometimes I wanted to share with you guys is that happened to me last week. And it happened because, again, I'm in this new mindset shift around my business and who I want on my team and like who I want to spend my time mentoring and stuff. Because last year was amazing. Last year was seriously, other than the pandemic happening and lockdowns or whatever, like, I really feel like it was a growth opportunity for a lot of us. Our teams, like, were thriving. Our challenge groups were thriving with new launches and just helping tons of people. But I feel like the part of me that kind of was hard for me to like gain back in the new year was that all of those people kind of fell off, right? And that's just how I feel. And I remember I was told, like, as a leader, as a coach of my team, I was told a lot of, I don't want to say lies, I would say, like, I was told a lot of things that were just, I don't know the word. It's like, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Now I'm having a Kait.
Misleading?
No, it was like, I don't want to say like white lies. It's like, I can't think of the word. I feel like Talia knows because Talia always comes in hot. Deceived, thank you. Deceived, like, you know what I mean? Like you get so excited, especially during like when your business is booming. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, like you want to be a coach? Let's freaking go. Let's freaking rock it. Like, let me show you all the things. And then slowly, little by little, your joy is still there. You still love everything about the business. You are so like on point, but yet the people that told you that they wanted it so badly aren't there anymore. And it's kind of like gut wrenching because it's like you put all of this belief and you put all of this like hardship and mentoring and energy, and it's super draining. And so I really had to take a step back and be like, okay, like, what are my boundaries? So you have to make sure that those boundaries that you have for your business are boundaries that you're setting the tone for your team too, right? Like when I said, like, I would love for you to be on my team, but I think that we should start here first, right? So when I got a coach cancellation last week, it was actually a coach cancellation that I was looking forward to. I know it sounds so bad, but I remember I texted Emma and I was like, I knew this was happening. I kept looking at my back office. I kept seeing, the red and all of the things. And it was just like, and it was almost like a lift because it was giving a space to someone who wants that spot on my team, right? So it's literally like almost like a blessing in disguise. I know it hurts when you get a coach cancellation because you're like, oh my God, like I did everything and we want to blame ourselves.
It's never about you.
It's never about you. It's never about you. And that's, it's hard. I know it is. But when you start to transition and look at it as like, okay, that is creating space for someone that I can now put my energy into, right? So it's never about you. And just remember to add value. I loved everything. Does anyone have any questions or want to add anything?
Of course I do.
Yeah, of course.
Of course I do. So I wanted to ask you, like, Molly and I were talking about this, and we're actually gonna like play with some ideas after this call. But I was curious, like, what your system is for kind of like how you talk to people and invite. So like when you sit down and do your business, I know for you not really having kids, it's easier to have some focused time.
Mm.
But like I have two kids, one of them is almost 4 and one of them is almost 7 months. So like today, for example, like I didn't have a sitter. And so it was like, okay, right now is going to be like the time I sit down and do my business. And I feel like I always have all these things like swirling around, like where do I need to catch up and do all this and do all that. So I guess I was wondering like what your system is like when you go to network, when you go to follow up, answer messages, like do you have a system that kind of flows so that you can get through a power hour, or do you like do this and do this? You know what I'm saying?
I'm a creature of routine and structure, so I love that. There's so much power in part-time. I could probably quit my job right now, but I don't think I ever will because I like being busy. That's just me. But there's power in part-time because during those minutes that you have, I found when I was during quarantine, when I was like, not doing anything, I didn't get anything done because I was like, oh, I have the whole day. But like when you're busy, like you have to be intentional with those minutes that you have. So I honestly get more done in part-time than I do then. But so how I structure it, so some days I'm just working. A lot of times now that I'm working from home, I can do like a power hour from 7 to 8. When I do that, I start off with going through and answering any messages that I have, doing any like cleanup work, checking in my challenge group, that kind of stuff. Then I go through and I connect with people. So if I follow a bunch of people, connect with people that way, then I'm very systematic about this. I go through, follow people, get new eyes, go through like the explore page or your followers. Do that for like 10 minutes. When you're done with that, if you go to your following and go to latest, you can see everyone that you just followed. Go through and just like connect with them in some sort of way. I only do that for a little bit then, but then I'll watch everyone's story. So I actually have a team impact, which is my team impact page, Instagram, and I not unfollowed, but I muted all of my coaches and I only follow them on that page. So I don't even know what my coaches are doing. I have no coaches. I don't follow any coaches. So my stories up there on my Instagram, I watch everyone. Those are all just people that I follow. I watch all those stories. I connect with them. because watching their stories is a really good place to connect, because they put them up there for a reason. And that's where I get the most responses. But I spend most of the time, so I'll do that. But then I spend the most of the time, whatever your frog is. So my biggest thing that I leave off is inviting. And that's like the biggest thing. So when I'm sitting down for a power hour, if I'm getting anything done, it's inviting. For me, like I said, my biggest frog is posting and like making up copy. So if that is your frog, whatever it is, do that first. So when I wake up in the morning, that's one of the first things I do. Is I wake up in the morning and I think about what I'm going to post. And now on Sundays. So when I was doing part-time, so if I'm not doing a power hour, I would wake up, I would figure out my post for that day. And I would do that first. And then when I was eating breakfast after my workout, I would check in with my challenge group. On my first 15-minute break at work, I would do a bunch of like connecting and following. That half hour that I had at work, where I had like a half hour block really to myself, is when I either sent, actually it wasn't even when I sent in, but that's usually when I would write the post or whatever like required like a lot of brain work, is when I would use that for like that time that I know I had. Invites, I would literally sitting on the toilet, like whatever, sending invites, but like finding those little minutes of time. And then I always like blocked off, schedule your time. I know it's hard. I'm not a mom, so I can't really like totally relate, but I know with myself, I literally have a planner and I schedule every minute of my day. Like even like at 5 o'clock, I have dinner with Kyle, and like that's our time together from 5 to 6:30. If anyone asks me to do anything, like I'm not there. Like I schedule like every 15 minutes of my day, because I needed to, because I was so busy at that time. But yeah, so power pockets are really good. They're really good. I think just starting your day with what your frog is, so that you're not spending so much time on it at night. Get that out of the way so you can do like the stuff that's not requiring your brain to work as much. Leave that for the power pockets. Get that first thing done in the beginning of the day.
Okay. Yeah. Cause that's my biggest thing is like on a day like this, for example, like I know I sat down and I got a reel done and I have to write the content for it, but like I got a workout in, I got my reel done, but I really haven't done anything else for the day. And I'm sitting here and I'm like talking and I had to go get like energized because I'm like starting to fade because it's 9 o'clock over here and I'm like starting to fade. So I'm like, okay, do I stay up late and then like sacrifice not waking up early because my kids also wake up at night, still. So it's kind of like, I'm just trying to like hear other people and how they structure things because I was telling Molly that, when I sit down or even during, like, I agree with you on like the power pockets because I've had the opportunities before where I've had
Mhm.
like all day and I end up burning myself out because I'm like, what else can I do? And I just keep going without breaking. So having the power pockets is great. It's just a matter of like, I want to feel accomplished in that pocket of time. And sometimes I'm like, you know, okay, what do I need to do? And then I get distracted with like all these things. But I love that where you said eat the frog first of whatever that frog is. And then, like really following up with like all the messages. Cause that was one of the things we were talking about earlier today was
Following up is the most important that you can
yeah,
do.
like I have all these messages in my inbox and I'm like, I need to get to them, but then like other things happen and then I haven't gotten to these people for like 4 days and I'm like, crap, what I'm now going to feel stupid or whatever, because I haven't followed up with them. So like I've been trying to figure out a system of like, yes, I need to like be in my messages and in my inbox every day so
Something
that
that helped, because like I said, I have a lot of college girls on my teams, and they're very busy. They're in grad school, they're doing internships, like they don't have time. So me telling them to send like 50 invites or sending them to send 20 invites, they would like shut down. So what they do that helps them is they said, okay, so what time? So from 9 to 9:20, I'm going to send invites. I don't care how many. I don't care, but I'm going to have 20 minutes, or I'm just put my head down. I'm going to send invites. I don't care how many. So in looking at it more as like time length. So I'm going to do as much connecting as I can do in 15 minutes. And then that's all you have, especially when you're busy. So instead of me telling them, follow 100 people or do this or send how many invites, I'm just like, okay, spend the next 15 minutes just on invites, however many you do. Like, it doesn't matter. You spent that 15 minutes just on that. And that's been helpful for them because they do a lot of power pockets.
even if you only get like two.
It's even if were they two valuable ones. Like I said, I'm all about value. So if you sent 10 really like copy paste didn't sound like you invites, but you got sent two really good ones that are going to get a response back, what's more important?
Yeah, that's really good because I've sat there before and been like, okay, 20 minutes, I'm gonna do like 20 follows and 20 messages, like trying to like fit them in. And then I go, how do people do this? Because my son just woke up, or I've only gotten five done and it's been 20 minutes. So like that's kind of nice to be able to just be like, whatever you can get done in that power pocket of time is still valuable, because that was your,
Mhm.
your time to do what you needed to do. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that helped.
I'm gonna let you read the chat box really quick because I think Molly had a question. But I want to add on that, Talia, because I was the type of person who was like always needing to be in my inbox and responding to people right away. And people, like, I'm super, and I'm going to talk about this on my Instagram tomorrow because it is irking me, but I am busy as fuck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I am busy. Like, and I do not have time to be sitting in my inbox and responding to messages like all day. Like, and I'm about to have a newborn. Like, so I, like, you have to set that boundary. Like, if you literally don't have time and you're stressing yourself out over it, like, save it. Like, wait until you have a time to be in your messages where you're fully focused in the messages, because you don't want to half-ass those messages, right?
Mhm.
So that's another thing that, like, I was like literally responding on the fly, and I'm like, it stresses you out, right? And so now I literally do it like, I mean, I do it when I'm like relaxed. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't really stress out about it. And I actually, if someone's like messaging me over and over and over and over, like, hey, did you send the link to the free sample? Hey, did you send the link to the free sample? And it's like, did you not fucking see that I had a panic attack today in my stories? No. And well, honestly, I don't even want to send you the link anymore. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, then that's when I address it. And it's like, and I say like, thank you so much for being so patient. Like, you know, like, I'm not in my messages all the time, but I will, Scout's honor, I'll get to your message like at the end of the day, right? So, you know,
Do you sort them? Do you sort them into a separate folder on your Instagram?
yeah, I do.
Okay, I didn't know if Talia did, because I make sure I put everyone into the general. So anyone that I did not answer yet, I make sure I did not read them. So even if I open it and read them, I swipe back and I say that it's unread, so that I know that, and then I put them over into the general folder. So anyone that I'm going to follow up with is in my general folder, and then if they don't follow up with me the next month, then I move them back to the primary folder. But I don't have time to answer everyone right away either. Voice memos help with that too, though. Like, if you're someone that's running around busy all the time, you're able to voice them rather than sit down and.
But then I always forget, because if the voicemail doesn't play back, I forget what I told them.
It does though. It stays. It's not like
Yeah.
it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, well, sometimes like it'll be there in the inbox, and then I'll go back, like, what did I say to them? And I'll click it, and then it like won't
It used
play.
to. They used to expire after like 48 hours. I don't think it does
Oh
anymore.
no, it's
Okay.
fair enough.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's so funny. But yeah, voice memos are a lifesaver. And I'll literally be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've been so busy today. Like, because I am. Or like, hi, like, I just see that I had a rough day today. But yeah, that was a great, thank you for that. But yeah, Molly was asking about news stories and stuff like that. So
The same people watch my stories and like my posts. How do you find new people to invite? Connecting, get out there and connect. And I think the biggest thing up there is other people's stories. First of all, if you're following, I really recommend, if you guys are following any coaches, like, get them off, because I guarantee those are the first bubbles on your story feed. It's all those coaches that you're watching. Like, stop. You don't care what your coach's dog is doing, I promise. Like I said, I have all of my coaches. I don't follow any coaches. I have them on my separate team impact page so that I can go there and I can catch up with everybody. But all of my story bubbles, this is how I find new people. I go through, and even if I'm just watching TV or I'm, sitting, I just sit there and I tap through them, and I'll like heart react some of the things. I'll, emoji. If I see something that I like, I'll respond to it really quick. That is more engaging for me. It has worked for me more than commenting on someone's post or liking their post. You're going through and you're actually seeing what they're posting. They want you to see their stories. They're posting stories for everyone to see. You're engaging on that. Then I notice that they're coming over and watching my stories. Also, something that I do is I don't like cold inviting whatsoever. But for people,
sorry. I was trying to find a video. Keep going.
Shoot, what was I? Let me find the. So anyone, if I'm really like, I have no one to invite and I'm like, there's no one on my post, all the same people, I do go into whoever's following me and I pick a letter, but I don't do like a cold invite. Okay. So this is exactly what I say. You can take it. I don't care. So I go into, letter B, and I go through, and they're following me. So this is not, but they're not engaging on my stuff anymore. Maybe they were long ago, but they're not right now. I say, hi, I hope you don't mind this random message. I really just wanted to reach out and say thanks so much for supporting my journey. I know some people like to just follow along for fun, and some people are interested in what I do, but are nervous to reach out. If you ever consider doing a program with me, or if you need anything health, fitness, or mindset, just let me know. I'm always here to help. Heart. That's it. I'm not inviting them to anything. I'm just letting them know that I'm here. It's like leaving a business card. Honestly, tons of people respond back. They're like, oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And then they're watching my stories and they're on my posts. Some people say, thank you so much, you're so sweet. And then they're not watching my stories, watching my posts, but I put it out there. And I've never once had anyone come off like that this was bad or unfollow me because of this, because it's literally what I want to do. I'm here. I love it. They're supporting me. And hey, I'm here if you ever want something, like if you want help with anything, and not just, join a program, but, mindset or so.
You do that for people that follow you currently, but like just.
Yeah, because I have followers that have never, liked the post, never, and I don't want to invite somebody, be like, hey, you want to come join my boot camp, who has never liked a post of mine or isn't watching my stories. That's cold to me, and I don't like that. But I kind of just put a little feeler out there like, hey, I'm here, you're following me, I know that, and kind of see if I can get them onto my stories and onto my posts, so then I can invite them, because then it kind of organically goes into an invite the next month when they're on your stuff more.
Do you just randomly pick someone, like with the letter idea?
Oh, so I'll go into my followers and I'll do like the letter. So like tomorrow I'll do the letter B, and then I just go down everyone that's following me that comes up on that list, and whether maybe they just need a follow up, but I go in anyone that I've never like messaged before, or maybe the last time I messaged them was like 2019, then I'll send them this again, because that just means you kind of just like fell off.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. That kind of gets new people onto your page, but especially going up there and getting new people on your page is watching the stories of the people that you're following and getting them to follow you back.
Yeah, Micah Folsom is a really good coach to follow. I guess to follow, but I mean, like in terms
she has really
of
good trainings.
Her trainings on connecting and expanding your network. I actually follow that with like her connections and like what she does and stuff. So yeah, amazing. Michael Folsom, like I put the training in there on the bottom and the YouTube training. So like that's the one that I like literally wash, rinse, and repeat. And I know you were saying like how to fit everything in, but like I do that hardcore every Monday. Okay. Like I start every Monday, my like connections and expanding my network is every Monday. And even if I got nothing else done, that is the one thing on the top of my list is doing that, because if I don't do that, I will have no one to invite. You know what I mean? So that is and you could choose a day. It doesn't have to be Monday just because Gabby's is Monday. You could choose a day that works for you. I've just been doing Monday. But that's what I've been doing. So wash, rinse, repeat, find one day to stick to it. And then if you have things, if you're like, okay, now I can follow up with more people, then do that. But if you don't have time for it, that one thing needs to get done. Okay. So, as much as like Talia, you were like, oh, I made a reel today. I don't make reels. I focus on my IPAs. Like, I'm sorry. Like I
don't have reels.
I saved so many reels with intentions of like, I'm going to make this reel and it's going to be blow up and blah, blah, whatever. And then I'm like, no, because I need to invite, I need to follow up. I need to do all of these incoming producing activities before I do that. Right. So I know it's like, I keep seeing it, make a reel. And I'm like, but I don't even have time to send out my vitals. So I'm going to focus on that, So you have to find what works for you. So, but yeah.
Maybe it's been a blessing that Instagram didn't give me the reels option.
Oh, you don't have the reels option?
No.
God, I wish I didn't have it, so it didn't make me want it.
I'm so mad. I've like messaged them. I've emailed them. I've like made new accounts. They just won't give it to me. I'm like, I'll just keep posting on TikTok. It's so annoying.
I mean, yeah, TikTok is great too. Bailey,
she's big on, yeah.
Gets a lot of people from TikTok. Like she hits Success Club from people on TikTok. I'm like,
that girl amazes me.
What? And anytime I'm like, I posted way too much on my story, I go to Bailey's and I'm like,
no, you didn't.
I don't feel bad. I love her. I literally love her. Okay, so if no one has any more questions, I know we're like super over, but this was such a good call. Thank you so much, Kait. And honestly, I'm just super excited for Let's Get Up and like all the things. We have so much value to add right now and so much to invite to. So go do that. Have fun with it, and remember to just have so much joy in your business and to lean in when you need help. But thank you so much, Kait. You're the best. You're the
You're
best.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
Bye.